We have, I think, some guests who have arrived to this open forum this afternoon and evening. Welcome to you. And this is a special panel time for discussion and Q&A. It was just too good of an opportunity to have the level of familiarity and experience with the worldwide Christian movement and the place of the church in Korea in that movement, historically moving forward, to pass up an opportunity like this. We have a range of familiarity with Christianity in Korea among us in this room. We have a range of familiarity among this group that we'll be sharing as well, but a tremendous amount of experience and insight that we'll be sharing with us. If you want to look at your forum schedule, you'll see the names of those who will be on the panel. I'll say more about each of them just very briefly before they each share. What we're going to do is each one will take just a few minutes and share some of their own thoughts and insights about the church in Korea, Christianity in Korea, Christian missions in connection with Korea as they desire. And then we're going to have some time for question and answer and discussion. To begin, Dr. Cho Young-jun, who has tremendous international experience and who is now the General Secretary of the Korean World Missions Association, he's going to go first. And he has prepared a PowerPoint. We don't have other PowerPoints. He has especially prepared a PowerPoint to give an introduction to all of us about the church in Korea and its mission now. He's going to take a little bit longer than the rest of us will, but thank you so much for sharing. We'll look forward to your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to share what the current situation of our Korean World Mission and what we are heading to now. This is actually prepared by Dr. Paul Han, as ex-General Secretary of KWMA, Korea World Missions Association. So if you find anything questionable, then blame him. But I replaced him this year. So I serve as General Secretary of Korea World Missions Association for just less than a year. But I present this presentation because our Korean World Missions, so we try to achieve this goal, the target to 2030. It's a target 2030 as a movement. We call that as a frontier mission thrust. So I will start with this Target 2030 movement. What is it? This Target 2030 is a mission strategic planning for 25 years of finishing remaining tasks with the global partnership. It's a five years planning for mission system and research and development and infrastructure, an estimated number of field forces by year 2030 around the world. So the Korean church planned this Target 2030 movement and started from 2006. Evaluation of Korean missions in 2006, we looked back from 1980 to 2000, it was a positive increase of missionaries, number of missionaries. The Great Mission Era, they call this a 492% growth of the numbers in those years. So you see this, the sharp growth of the increase of the numbers of Korean missionaries sent. From 1990 to 2010, I show you this graph. And then from 1979, the Korean missionary number was 93, 1979. And then the 2010, it grew to 22,685. And last year is a 27,205. So very sharp growth since the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games, about 30 years ago. Because of this time strain, I will just explain that very quickly. The positive points is mostly frontier mission paradigm and expansion massive missions movement of Korean church and increase of missionary sending, the numbers. That was evaluated of the Korean missions movement at that time. But we realized that Korean church growth became the very slow down, and then the financial situation of Korean churches, they faced some problems since 1998. We called the IMF economic, the kind of control by IMF. So this, where 2006, please remember this, the Target 2030 was adopted by the Korean World Missions. It was 2006. The 2006, just 1 year ahead of the 2007, which is a centennial year of 1907, the great revival of Korean church. So we had a very positive and a high expectation of the Korean church's growth. So 2006, again, 1907, so the goal was, again, we want to have this revival coming to Korean church. And then to Target 2030 movement as well. And the abroad mission environment was the non-Western missionaries, more non-Western missionaries are coming. So the growing number of the non-Western missionaries. So we had a very high expectation of positive growth of Korean missions. And then some positive Asian cultural aspect and Asian positive characteristics, or Asian abilities and skills. You see that a very positive look of this Korean missions movement at that time. And concrete goals. So when we set this Target 2030, we try to resolve the concrete goals and strategizing, and most Korean churches expect to participate in missions. But now, I will go fast. Still quite divided here the world in a very systematic approach to the, or more mechanical even approach to the world missions from the Korean mission leaders at time. And they divided the world as 5 different groups of countries. G stands for the general missions, G1 and 2, and F1 and 2, 3 as a frontier mission. Those countries divided. If you have a Christian, certain number of the percentile of Christianity, then we call is more than the Korea, the 15% of Christianity, then we call it a G1 or G2. And less than that 15% is a F1 and 2, 3. So we divided that all the countries into 5 categories, estimated this G1 and G2, GF1, 2, 3, all over the world, these countries would need about 460,902 missionaries by AD 2030. So that's the expected number of the missionaries to cover the whole world. So then the Korean church responded, how much do we have to take kind of responsibility to reach out the whole world? And that sense, the Korean church decided at that time, the 2005, Korean missionaries were about 13.2% of whole worldwide mission forces that time. So by AD 2030, the Korean churches want to send, maybe take a responsibility of 20% of the whole population, or whole mission forces. So that's why this number came. Estimated 460,784 out of 20%, then the Korean missionaries want to send about 100,000 missionaries by AD 2030. So that's to send these missionaries and to make the healthy mission system of Korean church, we divided the five years plan. So the first 5 years from 2006 to 2010, we called is a frontier emphasis 5 years. And then major emphasis on that frontier specialization of missions, developing core competence. And then 2010 to 2015 is a second 5-year plan with a mission revival. And third 5 years we called is all in period. In Korean, I know the pitcher spent all the power he has to draw one pitch. So that kind of the sense our Korean church want to focus on this third 5 years era. And then from 2020 to 2025 is a fourth 5 years, and then 2025 to 2030 is maturity and ready for that more coming decades. That was a 25-year plan. So we called it a target 2030. I'll just skip this. Now, it was not just the number of the Korean missionaries to be sent, it's 100,000 missionaries and 1 million mission forces mobilized. That was more known by many missionaries or mission leaders, is too much concentrated on the number of this Target 2030 movement. But actually, this Target 2030 movement is divided into 6 different areas of missions. We saw that it's a training and sending, advocacy and mobilization, and theory, mission theory development research. So all these, the 6 different mission administration and even strategy and logistics. So 6 different areas we want to develop this every 5 years. And we made the specific goals during this 5 years period. But after 10 years of Target 2030 movement, now we are here 2017. And we realized it's a very slow increase of missionary sending of Korean church. It's not like it used to be. And another one is challenges of church growth, big challenges of Korean church. And many people are saying the Korean church is no longer growing. And another one is a lack of fresh spiritual movements. The Korean church, are we really alive? Many are asking whether the Korean church is alive or, I cannot say dead, but not growing, least. And aging of missionaries. The missionaries, we have mobilized many senior missionaries, but younger missionaries are not many. And decrease of young generation in the church. So this is the present situation of Korean church. Annual growth of missionaries, and this, do you see that? Very slow growth. And last year, first time in our mission history since 1979, we began to count the number of missionaries. It's the first year we see there's a static number. It's a 27,205 year 2015, and 2016 we found there's no change of the mission population, missionaries. There are some positive aspects, but still it was considered or perceived as a very kind of negative or warning situation of Korean church. This graph, you will see this annual growth since 2006 to 2016. Every year, we sent more than 1,000 missionaries. But 2015, it was 528, and 2016, the number became 0. So it's a very important kind of turning point we are now. So our Korean World Missions Association, KGMLF, comprised of all the 15 denominational mission boards and 127 major or main mission agencies, and 50 more than like 60 important big churches, mission departments. This KGMLF, we want to develop more as a kingdom-minded mission. As I was appointed as a General Secretary of KGMLF, I shared this. This is a kind of vision or the philosophy or whatever that I want to focus on is a kingdom-minded mission of Korean church, K. And W as a worldwide network, M as a mobilization of total resources, A as an alliance more than just the association. So kingdom-minded mission, we want to build the kingdom of God, not individual kingdoms on the basis of the spiritual, the spirit of unity among Korean mission agencies and missionaries. Because we are criticized to do this mission work very, very independently, individualistic way. Yeah. And more than Koreanness, that kingdom-minded mission should be not the emphasis of just Koreanness, Bible-based mission. And this worldwide network, we want to develop as a partnership with the global church. And mobilization of total resources as a human resource, material resources, and spiritual resources of the church, our Korean church. And alliance more than association is more family like a member care. So we want to develop this, start unified training program for Korean missionaries and missionary calling of the college students and young adults for 1 or 2 years. So we want to mobilize more young generation. Thank you. I will stop that
Thank you very much.
presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cholk. I'm going to ask the other panelists if we could kind of bring